morning,
Good
Vas.
morning.
Hi, and I'm Meena. Today we are discussing on the role of desk control supervisor. All right. Now, desk control supervisor. Uh, you are working as a desk control supervisor. You have joined in housekeeping department, so you know. But I would just like to brief even the viewers. Desk control supervisor works in housekeeping department, is a friend for every staff member in housekeeping. In a sense, is always acting as a communication link, passing on information and ensuring that the task is done. So it plays a very important role. Any communication error leads to a great disaster in guest services. Alright, so desk control supervisor, what are you supposed to do over here is to pass on every information. You have room attendants who's working for the rooms. You have the linen supervisor and the linen attendant who has to pass on the linen. And you have valet, you have housekeeping supervisor, you have receptionist. So you have to continuously talk to all these staff. So there are two things that's very important. First thing is recording the details. So you have two registers on your desk. You have a receptionist request register and you have a guest request register. So these two registers information has to be recorded, and the second task is to passing on the information to them. So while passing on information, you're not just passing on information, but you have to ensure that the work has been done. Alright? Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So now what do you do? So as I said, passing on information, recording the information, ensuring the information. This is all your task, but it is very important. I'll give you an example. We had a guest who was staying with us in room 110, had asked for a newspaper, and it was not recorded. So we had sent the newspaper. We told the room attendant. For some reasons, the room attendant has taken the room as 101 instead of 110, and it was delivered to a wrong guest. So the guest waited for an hour, but very furious because he's used to reading starting of the day with newspaper. So each guest has a habit. So you should never record without recording. You can have this kind of mishaps that you face inconveniences and the guest is not happy with it. Alright. Sometimes guests ask for an extra bed, and evening we close the department, and if the extra bed has not been provided to the concerned guest, so guest is at inconvenience in the night, front office is at an inconvenience. So front office knows how to make a bed, but it takes a long time and we face unnecessary situations. So it is a very important task for you to look after all these details. Alright, so what is, as I've told you, registers. So over here you have two registers. So what does this register have? You have the room number. This is the guest information register. You have the room number. Room number recording is very important, so that you know that it has gone to the particular room. Then the time. You know the time. If it says, if the call has come at 8:15 and you are delivering the services at 9, which is not a prompt service. Here we have to ensure prompt service. So when call, the time of call you have to record, whom you have informed to, and then you have to write down at what time it has been done. So you know the length of time how it takes. Usually it is very fast because you have the supervisor on the same floor. It's on a very rare occasion the supervisor notifies to you that the supervisor is unable to do. Then in such situation you have to look for somebody else or inform the guest. So guest also is prepared that the service would take a little longer time. Alright, so it is very important. So the time that you have got the call, the time that the service has been done has to be recorded. So you can always ensure and you can always cross check. So that's the reason why you need this. Alright. So this is the guest information register. And for the reception information register, you have the receptionist. It is on each sheet is maintained on a date wise. Okay, so today's date this sheet, tomorrow's date the other sheet. So you know on which day the activity has been done. The receptionist, the name of the receptionist, what is the request that has been placed, the time of request, and the action done. Remarks column is when such an action has not been performed, then you could write the remarks. Now, the receptionist call. What could be the receptionist call? It's usually the guest contacts housekeeping for toothbrush, for pillow, for towel, for any housekeeping amenities. But the guest gives a call to reception when the guest doesn't want to be disturbed. That's very, very important call. Do not disturb, which we say it as D and D, that you're aware of. Do not disturb because guest must be too tired, sleeping or busy with some work. In such cases, if somebody knocks on the door, it's against the policy of the hotel and it is, we are not going as per the policy and which is not correct. So sometimes the room attendant is being given a warning. If the room attendant is being noticed that they tend to do this D&D very often because there are two cards usually placed. One says please clean my room and the other one says do not disturb. And if the room attendant doesn't observe properly and just knocks the door, then it is not correct. So usually the guest gives a call to receptionist and the receptionist informs you. So you have to ensure the housekeeping supervisor that nobody goes to that room and disturbs the guest. That's a very, very important call. Okay. So these are the details. Do you have any doubts?
No, I'm all right.
You understand everything? You have already been doing this work, but it's just that to follow it. Alright. So this is a session that has basically been done because the main aim is to ensure a better service to the guest. And this is a kind of a briefing session for VAS to understand the complete activity. The VAS has just turned recently and executive housekeeping manager wanted a better prompt services. To ensure better prompt services, this training session is going on. So this is a briefing followed by an role play with an activity that goes on in the desk control room. Thank you.
Thanks.